woke up to find strangers in my kitchen. Not robbers, not intruders, the new owners. "Excuse me, ma'am," the woman said, looking at me like I was the one who didn't belong. "We closed on this property yesterday. You need to leave." I stood there in my nightgown in the house I'd lived in for 43 years, holding a coffee mug that still had yesterday's lipstick stain on it. "What are you talking about?" I said. "This is my house." She pulled out a stack of papers, legal documents, a deed with my daughter's signature on it. "My name is Margaret Chen. I'm 68 years old, and my daughter sold our family home, the house our father built with his own hands, for $5 million, without telling me, without asking me, without even saying goodbye." But here's what she didn't know. That house, it wasn't just hers to sell. And that $5 million, it was about to become the most expensive mistake of her life, because hidden in the walls of that house, in a place only I knew about, was something worth far more than money, something that would unravel everything she thought she'd gotten away with. This is the story of how my daughter thought she could erase me, and how I made sure she'd never forget. But before we move on, make sure to subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. You won't want to miss any of these unspoken story files. Let me take you back to where this story really begins. 1982, San Francisco. My husband David and I bought a tiny Victorian fixer-upper in what was then a struggling neighborhood. We paid $42,000 for it. Everything we had. The house was a disaster. Peeling paint, rotting floors, a roof that leaked every time it rained. But David saw potential. He was an architect, not the fancy kind who designed skyscrapers. He designed homes, places where families could grow. "Margaret," he'd say, running his hands along the original crown molding, "this house has bones, good bones. We're gonna make it beautiful again." And we did. For the next 15 years, we restored that house room by room. David would work his regular job during the day, and at night, he'd come home and sand floors, repair beams, install windows. I'd paint walls, refinish furniture, plant gardens. Our daughter, Lily, was born in the upstairs bedroom, in a house that was still half construction site, half home. She took her first steps on floors David had just finished staining. She learned to ride a bike on the sidewalk out front. Every Christmas, we'd carve her height into the doorframe of her bedroom closet. That house wasn't just a building. It was our family's heartbeat. David died when Lily was 23. Heart attack. Sudden. He was only 52. One day he was here, sketching plans for a sunroom addition. The next day, he was gone. The house felt emptier after that, but it also felt sacred, because everywhere I looked, I saw David's handiwork. The built-in bookshelves he'd designed, the bay window he'd installed so I could watch the sunrise, the garden shed he'd built for me, with a little bench inside where I could sit and think. Lily moved out a few years later, got a job in tech, started making good money. She'd visit occasionally, always rushed, always on her phone. "Mom, you should really think about downsizing," she'd say, looking around like the house was a burden instead of a treasure. "Why would I do that?" I'd ask. "It's too much space for one person in this neighborhood. Mom, do you know what houses are selling for here now?" I did know that. The struggling neighborhood we'd moved into in 1982 was now one of the most expensive areas in San Francisco. Our little Victorian fixer-upper was now worth millions. But I didn't care about that. "This is my home, Lily. Your father built this." She'd sigh, change the subject, but I could see it in her eyes. She was already calculating. It started small, little things I didn't think much about at the time. Lily began visiting more often, but not to see me. She'd walk through the house with her phone out, taking pictures. "Just memories, Mom," she'd say when I asked what she was doing. She started asking questions about paperwork, about the deed. Mom, is the house in your name or was it in your dad's? In both our names, I told her. Why? Just wondering, for estate planning purposes. Estate planning. Like I was already dead. Then came the day she brought her boyfriend over. Except he wasn't her boyfriend. His name was Richard. And the way he looked at the house, studying the ceilings, the moldings, pacing out the rooms, I knew exactly what he was. A real estate appraiser. This is amazing craftsmanship, he said, running his hand along the banister David had carved by hand. Original Victorian details. In this neighborhood, this could easily fetch. Richard's just interested in architecture. Lily interrupted quickly. I told him about Dad's work. I didn't say anything, but I knew something was wrong. 2 months later, Lily came over with papers. Mom, I need you to sign these. What are they? Just estate documents, trust stuff. It's technical. My lawyer said we should get everything in order, just in case. Just in case what? Mom, you're 68. We need to be prepared. The papers were thick, dense, legal language, the kind designed to confuse people. I need to read these first, I said. Mom, it's like 50 pages of legal jargon. I'll explain it to you. I said I need to read them. She got frustrated then. Started talking about how I didn't trust her, how she was just trying to help. But here's what she didn't know. I might not have been a lawyer, but I wasn't stupid. I took those papers to my neighbor, Frank. He'd been a real estate attorney for 35 years before he retired. Frank read through them for 20 minutes. Then he looked at me with an expression I'll never forget. Margaret, he said slowly, if you sign this, you're signing over full ownership of your house to Lily. You'd have nothing, not even a right to live there. My blood ran cold. What? It's disguised as a trust document, but buried in Section 7, subsection C? She'd have complete control. She could sell it without your permission. She could evict you. Legally, you'd have no claim. I didn't sign those papers. And when Lily came back 3 days later asking about them, I told her I'd lost them. Lost them? Mom, how do you lose legal documents? I'm old, Lily. I lose things. She was angry. Really angry. But she couldn't push too hard without revealing what she tried to do. She left that day without saying goodbye. And I didn't hear from her for 6 weeks. I thought maybe she'd given up, that maybe she'd realize what she tried to do was wrong. I was naive, because what Lily did next, it was worse than I could have imagined. It was a Tuesday morning, early May. I was in the garden, planting tomatoes, when a car pulled up. A couple got out, mid-30s, well-dressed. The woman was holding a folder. Hi, she called out cheerfully. We're the Johnsons. We're so excited to finally see the house. I'm sorry, I said, standing up, brushing dirt off my hands. The house we bought? We closed escrow yesterday. Our realtor said we could stop by today to take measurements for furniture. The world tilted. There must be some mistake, I said carefully. This house isn't for sale. The woman's smile faltered. She looked at her husband, then back at me. Are you the tenant? Tenant. I own this house. No, the husband said, pulling out papers. Lily Chen is the owner. We bought it from her. $5.2 million, all cash. He showed me the documents. The deed. The sale contract. Closing papers. Lily's signature everywhere. And my name? Nowhere. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. There's been a mistake, I said carefully. This house isn't for sale. The woman's smile faltered. She looked at her husband, then back at me. Are you the tenant? Tenant, I own this house. No, the husband said, pulling out papers. Lily Chen is the owner. We bought it from her. 5.2 million, all cash. He showed me the documents. The deed, the sale contract, closing papers, Lily's signature everywhere. And my name? Nowhere. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. There's been a mistake, I said carefully. This house, my husband and I, there's been a mistake. My daughter doesn't have the authority to sell this house. My name is on the deed. Ma'am, I'm sorry, but according to our title company, Lily Chen is the sole owner. The title search came back clear. If there's a dispute, you'll need to take it up with her or get a lawyer. They left, but they'd be back. They owned my house now, apparently. I went inside and tore through my files, birth certificates, marriage license, tax returns, and then I found it, the original deed from 1982, David Chen and Margaret Chen, joint tenancy. But there was something clipped to it, a newer document from 3 years ago, a quit claim deed, transferring the house from Margaret Chen to Lily Chen. My signature at the bottom. Except, I'd never signed this. I looked closer. The signature was close, really close, but it wasn't mine. The loop on the G in Margaret, I always loop it twice. This one only looped once. The date on the document, I checked my calendar from that year, April 15th, 2022, the day this was supposedly signed and notarized. I was in the hospital that day, emergency gallbladder surgery. I had witnesses, medical records. My daughter had forged my signature, and she'd filed it with the county recorder's office, making herself the sole owner. And she'd waited 3 years until the statute of limitations for me to challenge it was almost up. And then she'd sold the house out from under me for $5 million. I tried calling her, straight to voicemail. I tried texting, no response. I drove to her apartment. She wouldn't answer the door. Finally, I sent her an email. Lily, I know what you did. We need to talk. Now. She responded an hour later. Mom, I did what was best for both of us. That house was too much for you. The money is in a trust. You'll be taken care of. I've already set up a nice assisted living facility for you. They're expecting you next week. Assisted living. She'd stolen my house, forged my signature, sold my home, and she thought she could just warehouse me somewhere. I read that email 3 times, and then I got to work.
I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a detective. But I was a librarian for 40 years. And if there's one thing librarians know how to do, it's research. First, I went back to Frank. This is fraud, he said immediately. Forgery, elder abuse, possibly even identity theft. Margaret, you need to report this to the police and get a lawyer immediately. Will I get my house back? He hesitated. The legal process can be complicated, especially since the house has already been sold to innocent buyers. But you have a strong case. The medical records proving you couldn't have signed the document, that's solid evidence. I filed a police report that afternoon. Detective Lisa Morrison took my statement. She was young, sharp, and angry on my behalf. Mrs. Chen, I'm going to be honest with you. Financial elder abuse cases are hard to prosecute. The DA's office often won't take them unless the evidence is overwhelming. I have evidence, medical records, expert handwriting analysis. That's good. That's really good. But we'll need more. We need to show intent, pattern of behavior, anything else she might have done. Pattern of behavior. I went home and started digging. I pulled my bank statements from the last 3 years, and I found them. Transactions I didn't recognize. Small amounts at first, 100 here, 200 there. Then larger, 5,000, 10,000, all authorized with my online banking credentials. Except I didn't even have online banking. I still went to the physical branch for everything. Lily has set it up without telling me. She had my social security number, my birth date, everything she needed. She'd been skimming money from my accounts for 3 years. Total, over $180,000. But it got worse. I found credit card statements for cards I'd never opened, store cards, gas cards, a Visa with a $15,000 limit, all in my name, all maxed out. Lily had destroyed my credit while stealing my money and my house. My own daughter, the girl I'd raised, fed, clothed, put through college, the girl who used to climb into my lap when she had nightmares. I took everything to Detective Morrison. She looked through it all, page by page. When she finished, she looked at me and said, "Mrs. Chen, this isn't just elder abuse. This is systematic financial exploitation. This is going to the DA's office today." But here's the thing about legal cases. They take time, months, sometimes years. And I didn't have years. The Johnsons, the couple who'd bought my house, they wanted to move in. They'd given me 30 days as a courtesy, but legally, they could evict me whenever they wanted. I needed leverage, something that would force Lily to make this right, fast. And then I remembered the walls. When David was alive, he had this quirk. He didn't trust banks, said they were all going to collapse someday, like in the Depression his grandparents lived through. So he kept cash, hidden throughout the house, in places only he knew about. When he died, I found most of it. $20,000 in the attic, $15,000 under a loose floorboard in the bedroom. But David had told me once, years ago, after a bottle of wine, "Margaret, if anything ever happens to me, check behind the medicine cabinet in the upstairs bathroom, the one with the old mirror." I've forgotten about it until now. That night, I went upstairs. The bathroom hadn't been renovated since David installed the medicine cabinet himself in 1987. I pulled it off the wall, and there it was, a metal safe built into the wall, hidden behind the cabinet. I didn't know the combination, but I knew David. I tried his birthday, wrong. Lily's birthday, wrong. Our anniversary, wrong. And then I tried the date we'd bought the house, June 12th, 1982, 6/12/82. Click. The safe opened. Inside, stacks of cash, old bills, probably $50,000. But that's not what made my heart race. There was an envelope addressed to me in David's handwriting. "To my Margaret, if anything ever happens to me, I'm gone. I'm sorry, my love. This is for you and only you. Don't let anyone take it. I left it here so no one would know it exists, not even Lily. This is your safety net. Use it. Forever yours, David." I opened it. Inside, bonds, bearer bonds, from 1995, before everything went digital, 50 bonds, each one worth $100,000 at maturity. They'd matured in 2020, $5 million in untraceable bearer bonds,
hidden in my wall for 27 years. David had protected me, even after death, and Lily had no idea this existed. I called my lawyer, a sharp woman named Patricia I'd hired with the little savings I had left. Patricia, I have leverage now. What kind of leverage? The kind that's going to make my daughter very, very interested in settling. I crafted a message, sent it to Lily via her lawyer. Your client sold a house containing undisclosed assets of significant value, assets that belong to Margaret Chen. If the sale is not reversed within 72 hours, Mrs. Chen will claim those assets were included in the fraudulent transaction. The buyers will sue your client for failure to disclose. The IRS will investigate for tax fraud. This will become very public and very expensive. Or we can settle this privately. Lily's lawyer called within 2 hours. My client is willing to discuss a settlement. Tell your client she has 48 hours to buy back that house from the Johnsons and transfer the deed back to my client at her expense, plus repayment of all stolen funds with interest plus legal fees. Or we go to trial, and I make sure every news outlet in San Francisco knows what she did. Silence on the other end. Then I'll speak to my client.
Lily showed up at my door 3 days later. I almost didn't recognize her. She'd lost weight. Her hair was a mess. She looked scared. "Mom!" "Come in," I said coldly. She sat on the couch, where she used to curl up and watch cartoons on Saturday mornings. "Mom, I didn't mean for it to go this far. You forged my signature. You stole my house. You drained my bank accounts. You destroyed my credit. How far did you mean for it to go, Lily?" She started crying. "I needed the money." "For what?" And then it all came out. She'd gotten involved in a business deal, a tech startup. She'd been promised it would make her rich. She'd invested everything she had, then borrowed more, then maxed out credit cards, and then the startup failed. She was $3 million in debt, facing bankruptcy, losing everything. I thought if I could just sell the house, I could pay everything off, start over, and you'd be fine. You'd have enough to live comfortably. I wasn't trying to hurt you. You weren't trying to hurt me. Lily, you erased me. You made me homeless. You made me nothing. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't fix this. Sorry doesn't give me back the last 6 weeks of terror, wondering if I'd end up on the street. She wiped her eyes. "What do you want, Mom?" "I want my house back. I want every penny you stole, and I want you to face consequences." "Consequences?" "You committed multiple felonies, Lily. Forgery, fraud, elder abuse. The DA is building a case." Her face went white. "Mom, please, please don't. If I get convicted, I'll go to prison. My career will be over. My life will be—" "Shoulda thought about that before you forged my signature." She fell apart then, completely. And despite everything, despite the betrayal, the theft, the months of fear and anger, part of me still saw the little girl who used to bring me dandelions from the yard, but I couldn't let that part win. Not this time. "Here's what's going to happen," I said. "You're going to buy back that house from the Johnsons. I don't care how you do it. Take out loans, sell everything you own. Figure it out. You have 2 weeks. "Mom, I can't possibly—" "You found a way to come up with $5 million to buy it in the first place. Find a way to buy it back." "That was different. I used your house as collateral for a bridge loan." "You did what?" "She'd used my forged deed to take out a loan, to get the cash to buy the house from herself. It was fraud on top of fraud. 2 weeks, Lily, or I press charges and I will testify. your own mother, on the witness stand, telling the world what you did. She fell apart then, completely, and she left sobbing.
Lily didn't make it in 2 weeks. She borrowed money from friends, former colleagues, even her ex-boyfriend. She sold her car, her jewelry, furniture, everything of value. She negotiated with the Johnsons, paid them a premium to walk away from the deal, and on July 23rd, 6 months after this nightmare began, I stood in a title company office and watched as the deed to my house was transferred back into my name. Only my name. Patricia made sure of that. Lily was there. She looked like she'd aged 10 years. When it was done, she tried to talk to me. "Mom, I'm pressing charges," I said. Her face crumpled. "Not all of them." Patricia convinced me that a full prosecution wouldn't serve anyone, but you're going to plead guilty to financial elder abuse. You're going to accept probation, community service, and restitution of all stolen funds, plus interest, and a restraining order at my request. For 1 year, she's not allowed to contact me, not allowed within 500 feet of my house. Maybe that sounds harsh. Maybe some people think I should have been more forgiving, but forgiveness has to be earned, and Lily hasn't even started earning it yet. I still live in the house. The Johnsons understood. They even sent me flowers after everything was settled. "We're sorry we were part of this," their note said. "We hope you can continue making memories there." I've made some changes. New locks, security cameras. I even finally got online banking with 2-factor authentication. Frank checks in on me weekly. The neighbors all know what happened. They watch out for me now. And the bonds? I cashed them. Patricia helped me set up a proper trust, one that Lily can never touch. I donated half to a charity that helps elder abuse victims, people like me who almost lost everything to someone they trusted. The other half, I'm living on it, comfortably. People ask if I miss my daughter. I miss who I thought she was. But the woman who forged my signature and stole my home, I don't know her. Maybe someday she'll do the work, real work, to become someone I can trust again. Maybe she'll understand what she destroyed. Maybe she'll earn her way back. But that's not up to me anymore. I'm 78 years old. I've survived the loss of my husband, the betrayal of my daughter, nearly losing my home. But I'm still here, in the house David built, in the garden I planted. And every morning when I wake up in my own bed, in my own house, I'm grateful, not because things worked out perfectly, they didn't, but because I fought. I didn't just accept what was done to me. I researched, I documented, I sought help, I stood up, and I won. If you're going through something similar, if someone you trust has betrayed you, please hear this. You're not too old. You're not too weak. You're not powerless. Document everything. Keep records. Ask for help. And don't let anyone convince you that you're the problem for fighting back. Your home is yours. Your life is yours. Don't let anyone take that from you. I'm Margaret Chen, and I'm still here. Thank you so much for listening to Margaret's story. If this touched you, if it made you think about the people in your life or inspired you to stand up for yourself, please hit that like button. It truly helps this story reach others who might need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe for more incredible true stories of resilience, courage, and justice. Stories that remind us that it's never too late to fight for what is right. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Before you go, this story is a work of fiction created for entertainment purposes. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental. The characters, names, places, and incidents portrayed are products of imagination. Thank you for watching.